Hello and welcome back to This Could Be a Podcast. You're joined with me, Peter, and my co-host, Jennifer Hobson.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah, another week of banter. And as you can see, it's just us this time. Good old Fred has traveled back to Amsterdam.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen an episode yet, go check it out. It's pretty interesting.
It's about tattoos and taboos. Pretty interesting if you ask me.
Yeah, and well, today we don't really have like a set topic.
No, we're back again, chatting shit.
It's just the shite will be chatted. It's a good way of saying it. But we're gonna. Well, I mean, I don't know. I had a couple of topics to talk about. Some interesting things. What about you?
Well, no, because literally, so sometimes we have a topic planned for like a week. This time I already got here. And we were like, oh, what should we talk about? Like, on the way to the shop, we were like, oh, we'll just do another, let's talk about nothing thing. So I haven't even had a second to think.
Yeah.
But you know what I do want to say? I want to say rip to my boy, Philip.
Yeah, dude.
Prince Philip.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
It was so weird watching the funeral. It felt so cultish.
Really? I mean, it kind of is, though, isn't it?
Well,
the
yeah.
whole royal family thing. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a wee bit of cult in there,
There's some cultiness in there. But also because all the, like, what would you call them? Like, the sanctions of military, they were all, like
the
there.
Navy and stuff like
the
that.
Navy, the RAF, they were all there. And they were all marching. And, like, just thinking about going to school and fucking learning how to march. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, we did that.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
You did not.
I promise you. No joke. So here's the context. So the context is that in a school I used to go to in Malaysia called Mutiara, we had these 4 different houses. Sponsor us, please. But they had these 4 different houses, right? There's emerald, sapphire, ruby, and topaz.
Oh.
Right.
We had 2 different houses like that. We had blue house and red house.
I mean, it's the same shit. There's like red, green, and yellow, basically, and blue.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we had those houses, and we would every year do a sports day, as most schools do.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
But on the sports day, there was one, basically, like the whole year would be a big competition to see who won House of the Year.
Yeah.
So, but like in my school, that also
very much Hogwartsy.
Yeah, kind of.
If you don't have that system.
But like, but it even went beyond sports though. So like, for example, if you won debates, you would win points for your house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of a cool system looking back.
I mean, yeah, they stole it from Harry Potter. I'm just kidding. They obviously didn't.
But anyways, so you've got these 4 houses, right?
Sorry, I'm very warm. I had to take off my jumper.
So you got these 4 houses, and one of the events on sports day was a march. So you would do a full march around a 400-meter track. No joke. And whichever house had the best mascot and best marching technique, which we practiced, and rhythm, won.
When was this like in your spare time, or was there a class for it?
So there was a dedicated after school time. First, you'd it would have a various amount of different stages to it. But towards once you get close to sports day, you do the marching thing, right? And then before that, weird. And it was like a 3-hour after school thing every Thursday.
But it wasn't like everyone had to do it. It was like that's so culty.
All the little kids were marching
for 3 hours after school.
No, well, yeah, kind of.
Because then if you finish at 3, you're done at 6.
No, because we finished 2:30, so you'd be done.
Yeah, but still 5:30.
Oh, I think it was 2.5 hours. Looking back at it, because I think it ends at 5.
Okay,
but still.
That's
but you would take breaks and do other stuff. But yeah, there would be indeed dedicated like after school marching things, and yeah, we would just march. And I was house captain one time, and when I was in my last year, I had to direct them how to march. It's interesting.
I literally feel like everyone I know was like, oh, I was like house captain. I'm like, how was everyone I've known house captain?
You got a bunch of
I wasn't
house captain friends, I guess. Fuck. Yeah.
What does that say about me? Like house A. But yeah, anyway, going back to watching the fucking funeral, it was fucking weird. They were like, oh, he had a very small funeral, but it was literally like so many people were there, and it was so like well put together and well established. There were like 5 songs.
Well, I mean, it is the death of Prince Philip. It's not just like
But he's
the
not-
hobo down the street died, you know.
Yeah. Oh, the Queen was crying. It was really sad.
I mean, I can't say that Prince Philip is like the most, you know, notable person in the royal family, but
Yeah, no.
I mean, he's still Philip at least. He's still the homie Duke of Edinburgh, you know.
Dude, how pissed do you think he is that he died at 99? His birthday's in like June or July.
I think he's just dead. I don't think he's necessarily pissed. Oh.
Bitch, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, shit. So who's next in line? Isn't it? It's a prince next, right?
Charles.
Charles. Isn't he like 40 as well?
No, Prince Charles is like 70 something.
Oh shit. Really?
Yeah, well, if you think like Philip
of
was
course.
99, he's not going to be like 30.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, fuck. Shit.
Yeah, no, it's Charles, but no one likes Charles.
Oh, is he a dickhead?
Yeah. He was the one who was married to Princess Diana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then like killed her. Allegedly.
Allegedly. for
like got
for
her
the
in a
sake
car
of,
accident.
For
Allegedly.
the sake of Jen moving to the UK later this year, it's alleged, it's a joke.
Just kidding. For research purposes, this is a joke. Yeah. And then he married fucking Camilla. You know why I don't like Camilla? This is now just me ranting about the royal family. But everyone else just wore like a regular plain black mask. This bitch showed up in a black mask that had gold detailings. Like all over it. It was like so bougie.
Extra,
I was like, really? Really? You'll never be Diana. You'll never be Diana. Literally no one cares unless you're English about this bullshit.
Man, but still, like, yeah, Philip dying is pretty crazy. And I remember when I saw it. I think I saw it on The Sun first. I was like, really? Is he really dead?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw. Yeah. I mean, as I mentioned in your little interview, which wasn't filmed, but not for this anyway. But basically, you were asking me about where I found out where Prince Philip died.
Yeah.
And I literally saw it 2 seconds after the royal family posted it.
Crazy.
And I was like, I'm ahead of so many people in the world right now for news.
Yeah, isn't that so?
And now like everyone knows about it.
There's like a weird rush when that happens, right? When you're like in that first 100 people.
Yeah.
So you could be like original who spreads the news amongst your like.
I was the
friends.
first of my friends post on my story. I was like, yes. I felt so good about it for no reason. Like, why do I care? But I do.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you probably shouldn't care, but you do.
I just want everyone to think I'm intelligent and like really into the royal family. Do you watch Peaky Blinders?
I love
the woman
Peaky
died.
Blinders. Wait.
Polly.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, yesterday.
Stop it.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, really?
Yeah, she died. Yes, I also saw that 10 minutes after it was posted.
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh
Yeah.
man, I've actually got a message from my friend who also
She's like
watched.
52. So that's so sad.
Damn, dude. Polly died, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks, man.
Like the actress.
Yeah,
I don't know about the
that's-
character. I'm only on season 3.
I mean, there's no way they're gonna replace her. She's so important.
Oh, they
to the
gotta
story.
kill her.
Yeah, well, she's just gonna have to die, or maybe the show even doesn't continue. I don't know.
Or they might. But the thing is, like, I always wonder how TV shows play deaths off. Because you can't exactly now plant a seed that, oh, they're sick, because you don't have the actor there anymore. So you now have to come up with a reason why they're just not there anymore.
Yeah,
so usually they go like, oh, she moved away to university. Usually when it's like a different, like a kid's show, they always go like, oh, she just went to another school.
Yeah.
Like no one's heard from them.
Yeah, I remember in Glee when the guy who played
Corey Monteith.
Yeah, Corey Monteith. Yeah, that guy. When he died, they did a special episode dedicated to him. And I might be misquoting this, but I'm pretty sure they said that he died at war or something like that.
Oh, like he got drafted or something?
It's something like that. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong. I haven't watched it in a long time. I was watching it with Nicole not too long ago, but I think he died in a war.
But that's not very Glee like.
No, it's
I
not.
feel like
no.
you got that plot line wrong.
Maybe.
If they were like, oh, he died in the war, it's like he was never even in the war. If they were like, oh, he was drafted, then that would make sense.
Maybe something like that. Maybe, but I remember his father was a soldier, but then his father got disgraced. But his whole life he thought that his father like died honorably or something like that in war.
Is that like the actor himself or the character?
Just the character.
Because I haven't seen it.
Oh, right. Well, anyways, it would kind of make sense because his father was like a disgraced war veteran kind of guy thing, I think.
But still, why would he just die at war?
I don't know. Okay, maybe I don't know. I'm
it
not
doesn't
sure.
matter. Anyway,
The point is that they handle it like that when they did like the whole musical thing for him and stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'd do? I'd literally just like, being realistic, everyone knows that the person playing that is now dead.
Yeah.
So why don't you just like write them out of the script? But what if you're in the middle of filming a season?
Well, that happens. So that happens. That's what happened with Cory Monteith.
Then you have to like refilm the whole season.
Well, I mean, it depends.
Essentially, most
of
of it.
Or at the very least, you're gonna have to change the plot line up to where you are already.
Yeah.
And see if you can adapt it to still reach the original end that you wanted to get without that character. And then it varies on how important the character was.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, obviously, you can't really continue the Lord of the Rings without like
Luke
Frodo.
Skywalker.
Well, that's Lord of the Rings. That's Star Wars.
Oh, my brain.
Yeah.
I don't know why I get them mixed up.
Yeah, Lord of the. Oh, but your point's also correct. It was Star Wars, like in the original Star Wars.
A main character.
Yeah, exactly. Like it varies then.
Yeah.
So if the main character actor dies, then you're fucked. You're gonna have to recast.
Damn. I'm so glad like most TV shows don't do it where they just try to find an actress that kind of looks like them.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's tough though.
Although I guess that works if like the character's really important, but not like a main character.
Yeah. There is this series Spartacus. It's a bit of I don't know if you probably haven't seen it. Anyways, it was called Spartacus. It was a really good show.
My dad has it on DVD though.
Yeah. It's got a lot of sex scenes and stuff in it, like a lot.
Oh,
like
ew.
Very visual.
Ew.
Very like graphic. But aside from that, it's a good show though. Like the story is good. Anyways, the point is that after the filming of season 1, the main act or season 1 or up to season 2, or was it just season 1? I can't remember. But the original actor for the main character died. So for the next season, they found a guy who looks pretty similar to him.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If like the story's really good and it's a main character, like what are you gonna do? Just like
the show was doing really good, and it really was a good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just like replaced him with a guy who looks vaguely like him.
That's so funny.
But I mean, like, it's such a really tough call though. If you're a studio, like to do like. You don't realize, at least I didn't think about it, but now I'm realizing that like the main actor is really important to like, you know, the movie surviving once it gets like, it's a lot of money to have to rehire someone and like reshoot all those scenes.
But that's why I think like Doctor Who is such a good premise, because that shit's been going on since like the 60s.
Oh yeah, because it's always a new doctor, right?
Always a new doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people stopped watching it when the doctor went female, which I think is just like so stupid. But we move. But like you get used to the new doctor. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone is like, oh, I prefer the old one at first, and then like the next doctor after that, they're like, oh, actually that one was quite good.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they, because is there one long consistent storyline as well that's going on?
Well, in general,
I know it's like the Daleks, right? Like you don't want them to destroy the universe, basically.
And then other like monsters.
Yeah.
As after that as well, and also like he's just like a time traveler, so he falls in that. Actually, but they do like have like bits of storyline where he like has a wife.
Oh yeah. How's that possible?
Well, because he like met him, but then also I can't provide spoilers.
And I'm sure, but like the side characters also have their own story stuff going on alongside. Like the Doctor Who stuff, right?
Yeah. And throughout, like, the Doctor, because obviously they go to different times, they, like, meet, like, his wife's kid. Or, like, great-great-grandchild. Or, like, his, you know, it's very interesting. He's like, oh, you're my daughter, actually. That's weird, but you're actually older than me right now.
Wasn't there this one really sad one where the doctor was like, I don't want to go, when he was going to die or something like that?
I think that was David Tennant.
Yeah, I think that was David Tennant.
Because he was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I miss him. Just like as a person.
yeah, I miss him personally. Yeah, crap, man. I don't know. I think it's tough to make this kind of calls, so what to do. I mean, I guess with Doctor Who, you could just get a new Doctor the next season. But it does mean you might have to reshoot the season that you were already filming. But technically, next season, you can just get another one. Right?
Yeah, you just get another one. And what they could do is like, oh, I woke up and I didn't have like that massive weird like transformation. Let's look into why that happened. And then they can story it out that way.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird show. Interesting, though. I wanted to talk about, in a complete swing of topic,
Yeah, that's fine.
my cat Instagram page.
Yeah.
It is crazy. So
I love that you're going to do cross promo.
yeah, oh, definitely some cross.
Like,
Yeah,
go ahead and plug your cat's Instagram. You fucking bitch. Am I getting some revenue from this?
Yeah, well, the revenue.
Sponsor?
The revenue from our cat Instagram page is 0, so you could get, sure. You're
Go on, drop the app.
You can have 15. That's not an ad. But it's just like Nicole and I started this cat Instagram page. And like really, we weren't really hoping anything would happen with it or that it like, and we were expecting really not very much. And suddenly it's like, after 2 days, we got like 700 followers. And
Yeah.
Okay, as like we talked about it a bit earlier as well when Jen and I were going to get drinks, but it is also to do with like following a lot of accounts. But I think people also just really like cats.
Everyone like usually if dog pages follow me, I'll follow them back because I'm like, fuck yeah, I love dogs. You know?
Yeah, man.
And like everyone loves animals, so.
But I find it so interesting, like how these little societies kind of exist all throughout social media. So like in this like cat page society, it's like it's kind of weird, man. It's like its own little sub dimension of Instagram, like its own plane of like reality in the Instagram like social world. It's so weird. Like you go into like the cat realm, and all these cat accounts will start messaging you like these like fake offers from cat stores. Cats asking you to follow their YouTube channels and stuff.
It's when like I'm all cool for having like your animal have an Instagram. I think that's fun.
Go for it, dog.
Because I mean I already have one too. I mean it's not in use right now, but it's when people start role playing as their animals.
Yeah.
Is when it like weirds me out.
It's like the thing is
like I'm gonna roast you for a sec. Some of your captions scare me.
Really? They're not that bad. Okay, ours are more like semi pretending to be the cats. More so like saying, but
you're like, hi, I'm so and so, Hayden or something.
Yeah, but it's like it's not too bad.
I'm roasting you.
Yeah, you are roasting me. Welcome to the roast of Peter and the cat page. But no, I mean like it is a little bit on the edge.
There's always something a little cringy about like having an animal Instagram page.
Yeah, in general. I mean,
but that like I think it's still fun. Like it's your social media. Do what you want. You know.
I mean, like it's kind of interesting because you can be, I feel like, more creative with that kind of stuff as well with how you like promote that. Versus I think you put too much Jack in there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's on your face. But like the cat one, I feel like more inclined to like do quizzes and stuff like that and like ask questions that I wouldn't normally do like on my own Instagram or something like that. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I find it so interesting how other people use their Instagrams. Like I upload on my story like every day, at least once. Not because I want to, but because I'm like, oh, I want to put this on my story so people can see it and it's like funny. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my god, that's so cringe. Like who do I think I'm posting for?
Yeah.
And I cringe myself out all the time. And then I'm like, but this meme's really funny.
But it's a dangerous game though. I think social media is super hard to not be cringy. I think it's really tough. Actually.
Yeah, because even if you're trying not to be cringy, it's a bit cringy because you're trying not to be cringy.
I mean, you go with something so plain and like so not cringy that it becomes cringy because it's too plain.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I always find it embarrassing when people are like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" I'm like, I don't even look at it. Even though, like, I don't have an issue with my own Instagram. I think my Instagram's, like, good.
Wait.
But I don't know.
So you don't like giving your Instagram to other people? Or like?
I'll still give it to them. But it's when they go look at it when you're with them. And they're like, oh, let me stalk you. And I'm like, not while I'm here.
Yeah.
Do it on your own time. I don't want you to, like, see them and be like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like,
oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I got you. Like you mean like when you're meeting someone new when you're like sitting together, or whatever, at like a dinner or whatever it is, or like at a bar.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What's your Instagram?" It's like, "Oh, what's this like random picture from like 3 years ago?" Yeah, okay, I get you, yeah.
And I'm like,
It's like that was my dog.
like I don't know. I don't know who I was back then.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's just kind of weird to kind of like sit there and like. I get that in general. If it feels like someone's looking at your like work.
It's like I'm giving. Yeah. I also
it's the same
like.
kind of vibe.
I like have people send me their essays and I'll edit them for them, and I like don't care. I'm not judging them for their writing at all. But I will never let anyone edit my stuff because
Never, really.
it makes me feel so cringe. Like even when teachers return like essays and stuff that I've written with feedback, I'm like, I don't want to look at it because I'll be embarrassed.
Really? Well, I mean, like, but if you want to do copywriting and stuff in the future, you're gonna have to go through an editor. You can't really work around it.
Yeah, and I am getting a lot better with it, to be honest. But when I first started uni, I was like, I didn't read any of the feedback, and I was like, I have to, because how am I going to improve, you know? And now I do a lot more work for editing, so.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I think it's. Yeah, I don't know, social media is just a wacky place to me. I mean, the internet in general and social media specifically, but the internet in general is just like. I don't know. Maybe it's the media studies degree or something. I just think it's so interesting how many like sub dimensions there are on social media and stuff, and
so many imagined communities.
Yeah,
would you agree,
you
Peter?
go. Yeah, imagined communities, exactly. Yeah,
that's what we learned in our course.
Yeah.
If you're wondering, if you care, if you want a media studies degree, all you need to know is imagined communities.
But that's such like also like a that's like a party trick thing as well, right? The imagined communities thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but also
let me tell you about imagined communities from my degree.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm always surprised when people are like, I don't even know what cookies are, and I'm like, to be fair, I didn't before my degree.
Tracking cookies, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just sorry.
I thought
yeah,
you
like
meant actual
tracking.
cookies.
No, like a website. Yeah. Like,
yeah, no, true.
Yeah, when they're like, oh, do you? What is it like? Give us cookies.
Give
what
us
do they
consent
say?
to have cookies and let's see one more.
They
Like
just
preferences
usually
and
just
stuff.
say like, oh, do you want to share your cookies? It's like, no, my cookies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always surprised. Like, I guess that's learning though, because you're always like, how do you not know that? And then you're like, oh, I guess I didn't know that before.
Yeah,
I learned it.
Yeah, those are basically the two things I learned from media studies. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's about it.
Imagine communities and cookies.
Yeah, and cookies. No, I mean, I don't know. I liked media studies. It was nice. But
yeah, it was good.
we're talking. Yeah, right. The social media thing.
Yeah.
It's like, as you said, but like imagine communities is actually kind of an accurate phrase though, because you really do have these societies that develop like dog pages or cat pages. I don't know. It's so weird.
They're very niche, like topic and like pages. I love them.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great. I love them.
I love them.
Like it's the same with makeup though. Like, but I guess like it all comes from like when you're in school, there are different cliques.
Do you think that's where it comes from?
Probably.
I mean,
people gravitate to people who are like-minded.
It's also to do with interests, I suppose, which I guess I will just kind of synonymous with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, if you're generally speaking, if you like dogs, you're more likely to make a dog page.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And obviously that gets narrowed down if you have a dog.
Yeah. And if you have the same dog, then you might have very similar lifestyles.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't know. It's just it is weird, to be sure. For my journalism course, we had this this like online investigative journalism course, and it taught us all these like like special things that you can do to like surf the web and like how to use like keywords and like certain phrases in Google.
I learned that in high school.
Yeah. But it was that whole thing, but it was like.
Wait, was I even in? Actually, no. I think I was like 13.
Could be.
But I like I don't even remember that stuff.
No, I don't. I mean, I barely remember what they taught me in that course, but. And now, the thing is, we had it for I think 2 or 3 full days. I think 3 full days of that stuff. And like how to find locations by looking at a picture. And you look at like the address, the color of the weather, and like advanced Twitter searches and stuff like that. But it's cool.
You know what we should do? GeoGuessr.
Oh, GeoGuessr would be really cool.
It's so fun. For those of you who don't know, GeoGuessr is like an online game where it uses Google Maps and places you somewhere, and then you eventually have to guess like where you are. Mm-hmm. I'm so bad at it.
But it's basically like Google Maps. I'm sorry, like GeoGuessr, except making more like informed decisions on where you think this is.
Yeah.
So the guys we were working with, they worked also on like all kinds of like black like dark web kind of stuff.
Black web.
Yeah, I was gonna say black web. I meant dark. I mean like dark web kind of stuff and deep web stuff as well. And like they went on all these like pretty crazy investigative projects. I don't know. It's just weird how there's like I don't know. Like I feel like
it always amazes me when people just know about stuff, like a really specific area that I know nothing about, like the stock market. Mm-hmm. I have no idea about it, and yet people talk about it like it's like a regular thing.
But that'll happen with you and other people as well, though.
I just don't know if my interests are not that wide, or like my interests are like really stupid,
or like very generalizable.
Very generalizable. Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a word actually.
Generalized. Very generalized.
Generalizable.
Very general. That's the word. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it is actually general. Yeah.
Very generalized.
Very generalizable.
Journalism degree.
I'm getting journalism. I promise I'm really doing a master's in journalism.
But like, yeah, my interests are very general. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I like books. Books are cool. I enjoy books.
And what kind of book?
So actually, throughout the pandemic, I made it a goal to start reading more nonfiction because I usually just read fiction, and I always viewed nonfiction books as like really boring and like very info filled and not very interesting to read. But I actually prefer them over nonfiction. I mean, fiction.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I think it would depend for me. I mean, I see what you're saying. And the thing is, when something is nonfiction, you can imagine it because it really happened.
Yeah.
You know, versus fictional stuff. Well, it depends. Like I do like the creativity in fictional stories.
I think I love the feeling of learning. Like I love just being able to pull out a fact out of my ass. And everyone's like, "Whoa, how do you know that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just fucking whatever. I read. I'm
just a reader. Actually.
I just like I don't go on my phone.
What do you read?
Much.
Oh, nonfiction.
Nonfiction.
That's like a vegan kind of face. Like
it honestly is.
I'm a nonfiction reader.
Like nothing is a bigger flex than when you see someone on the bus not on their phone but reading.
And reading nonfiction.
Yeah,
that's
you're like, oh my god, they're so fucking smart.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, and even when I like, sometimes I'll go to the park and read, and I'm like, I know people are like, this bitch is smart, and I'm not. I have them all fooled.
Yeah, shit. I don't know.
It's so funny, like these little things that people do to like that everyone does.
Like these little judgments. These like split-second judgments on someone. That's a whole interesting thing as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Judging a book by its cover.
Please don't. Oh my god.
That was good though.
I mean, it fit. It did fit. I'll give it to you. It definitely did fit, but fuck. No, but definitely. These like micro decisions, you know. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that you need to have these micro decisions, otherwise you can't function.
But a lot of them are just like, why is that true? Like it's like not really a joke, but it's like a stereotype that gay people or people who are LGBTQ plus, they cuff their jeans, and it's very correct.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I've literally never seen anything more correct in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, it's really fun. And you'll notice it now.
Really?
But it's like a joke on the internet. They're like, you know, always like short nails and cuff jeans, regardless of gender.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of that before. I'll keep an eye out for that. Cuff jeans, Yeah, but I mean, like,
it's like so specific, and it literally doesn't mean anything.
It's true. I mean, like, what
But it's
are
a
cuff
thing.
jeans even? It's just
They're
a
just
way
rolled up
they're
jeans.
Just, yeah, I know. They're just like rolled. I know what I know what they literally are.
Well, if you don't know what they are, that's what they are.
I'm saying metaphorically, what is that? It's just rolling up your jeans.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, but like it's like you said, it's like it's about so many things that like you can. I mean, like I also said, that there's so much information going on, is that you need these responses to be able to detect. You know, like I don't know, it's weird. So like you'll instantly recognize. Not again, I'm talking shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it is true that your brain does work. I was going to give an example, but it's a fucking
And it's
stupid
also
example.
like people who wear glasses, you just always think they're smarter
Yeah.
than someone who says like, who, for example, wears like makeup and dresses more provocatively. You just would assume that they're less intelligent.
It's obviously not
even
true.
though, exactly.
It's obviously not true.
Yeah.
But it's like, your brain has to be able to do that to quickly make an assessment about somebody. Because you can't try to figure out who a person is to like the depth of their core every single time. Like your brain would just explode. So you have to be like, okay, that is, you know, okay, that guy is trying to buy soda over there. Okay, you know, that girl is walking over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she has a book in her hand. Maybe she's studying or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like your
like
brain,
different things are linked.
Mhm, exactly. You build these kind of personas to the people
These
around
symbols
you.
and signs, if you will.
You mean like semiology? I'm not that
Semiology?
So far, we have 3 words that we've learned from media studies that we've collected in this episode.
I was organizing all my textbooks the other day from media studies that we've gathered over the years. And I'm not joking. I was like, never open this, read
really?
one page, maybe read a chapter.
Yeah, that's true.
Highlighted like a chapter in this. No. I'm like, all my textbooks probably cost me like over €200 together. And I've barely read them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's... Yeah.
I would read some of them though.
There was one course, statistics. That was the one. Our teacher in statistics made us buy this book because that was the only book she used the entire class.
Right.
So then it's relevant because then you have a book that like, because like the issue of media studies is that we look at so many different things.
Yeah.
Is that even if you buy a course book, you might have like one like reading of it a week or something, like a short reading.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I'm like, y'all can't just like go to the library yourself, print these pages, and then send them to us all via PDF. You know what I did? This is actually a great tip for anyone listening who's either doing a thesis or writing a book, whatever, and you need references. And you know how sometimes they're like, oh, you need to pay for access to this one. Mm-hmm. And you're like, damn, but it's like a perfect reference. I figured out you can just email the author and they'll send it to you for free.
Yeah.
Usually. That's what I did throughout my thesis. But it was really, like, one time I emailed this one woman about her paper. I was like, it's perfect for my topic, but I can only pay for it online and I'm a uni student. Like, I don't have the money. So do you mind sending me a copy maybe that you have? And she replied within a couple hours and was like, yeah, absolutely. Because it's still promo for her to some extent. But then she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. As long as you send me a copy of your paper after you're done, with a smiley face. And she was like, I'd love to read it. And so then nice. She sent like the paper. I never sent it to her because the whole time I was bashing her opinion. So I couldn't send it to her. And I was critiquing her work. So I wasn't going to be like, here you go. Here's me talking shit.
Okay, that's kind of rough.
Yeah. It was a paper to use to prove my point.
Okay, I see. So okay.
So I wasn't going to be like, here you go. But I think that would have been really cool for someone if you wrote something and then they were like, oh, now it's like some people are writing about it in university.
That's true.
I bet she bragged to her friends about it.
It's like a student actually contacted me to write a paper on my paper.
I still feel bad about it though. And it was like in first year. And like still, I'm like, she's probably still waiting on that fucking email.
It's like every now and then she like
she's pissed.
It's like every day on like the 13th hour, she like vaguely looks towards her email box.
She looks at her transcripts on the table and she's like, ah, that student never gets
It's like a lost lover or something like that. It's like the lost student research essay.
That's sweet though. Like I
It
would
is
be
sweet,
so touched if someone reached out to me and was like, "Hi, do you mind sending me your paper? Like it's perfect. I just don't have access to it." I'd be like, "Hell yeah!" And I'd want to read what someone said about it. But unless they were bashing
Then
what
I
I was
don't wanna
saying,
read
then
it.
I'm like, "Fucking keep it to yourself."
Yeah,
You
it's
little
like why
bitch.
would you tell me that?
Why would you even say that?
Why
That's
would
so
you
mean.
Well, we also have SmartCat though, which is really useful because a lot of the time.
SmartCat is awful. Like the actual search
Oh,
bar.
it's terrible. Oh, I would never in my
Terrible.
life use it for searching. But what I do is I find an article online. If I like it, I just copy the title, put it in SmartCat, and I get the article.
Yeah,
Is
that's true.
Like that
But
works?
sometimes it's not there, or like
Sometimes it's not available. Sometimes but usually it is.
I type in the full title, like the full reference and everything, and it still doesn't come up. So I'm like, okay, I'll take out the page numbers. I'll hopefully find the full article. It's like, no, we still don't have that. And then I take it out all the way to just the author, and then it shows up.
Yeah. I've had that too.
I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
You did this for what? I don't
It's
know.
true. But at least it does give us the free access though, and it usually
It
does work
takes
better.
too long though.
Not okay.
When I could just email the author, fuck yeah.
I mean, it's faster than emailing the offer, though, isn't it? Because you have to wait for the reply from the offer. It's more effort.
A lot of like academic authors though, it's not like their inbox is full, you know. No, but for real, no tea, no shade, just facts.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
unless
not
you're
like
a
they're a
lecturer.
celebrity.
Unless you're a lecturer.
But even then,
Yeah, but
they're
then
going to say, what the fuck? Like, that's why the subject of an email is so important. This is me now teaching people how to send emails. The subject of an email is important.
I would always, in uni, add urgent in bold capital letters at the front of my
You were
email.
that bitch.
I was that bitch, and it worked. I would
Well,
get such
yeah.
fast replies.
But, like,
Sometimes it was urgent. Usually it was, like, it was always arguable as urgent. I would never do it just to be like, how are you? You know, I like...
imagine emailing your teacher like, hey, just want to know how you are.
It would just be to, like, if I had, like, a really pressing question, I put urgent. It wasn't urgent as in, like, oh, I lost my left leg, I'm in the hospital. It wasn't like that ever, but, you know.
I never used urgent, and even when
You were that bitch.
recently they tried to like take out tuition for this second block of the second semester, and I was like, I'm not even in courses, like don't even fucking do this to me. No. And I just sent like the study advisor an email. I mean, admittedly, this subject line wasn't good. I was just like, tuition support.
Yeah,
And like I was straight up like, they're trying to charge me tuition. I'm not even in courses. What do I do? I have 3 days to get my tuition back. I don't know. And she was like, I am out of office. I was like, get the fuck out of my face.
and it's like, oh.
I'm like, should have labeled it urgent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that stage though, it's already kind of like too like if she's out of office, that's just an automated response, basically, right? That you
It
would have gotten,
is.
right. So I mean, like, it doesn't matter then whether you write.
But I just
urgent or
don't
not.
understand, like, if you're not, like, even if I wasn't in office, like I didn't have office hours, I'd still be on my email, wouldn't I?
I mean, it depends on how hard of a break you're taking, I guess. I mean, maybe
She was a study advisor.
maybe she just turns off her emails for her like her like vacation or something.
I just feel like you can't
But usually
do
there
that.
were like replacement study advisors, right?
Yeah, I just got an email saying, I'm currently out of office. I'll reply in 3 business days. I'm like, beg your pardon,
Sorry? Hello?
ma'am. I'm having a crisis.
Yeah.
Anyway, if my mum's listening, they didn't charge me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they charged you, then you'd have to open a ticket or something.
I'd go
like
to
that.
fucking court, bitch.
I don't
You
think
tried to take my money.
I don't think you'd have to go to court, but I imagine you would definitely be like, that's like 2,000 euro you guys took from me.
I'd go full American and be like, my daddy will sue. I'm kidding. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just be like, guys, you took my money. Can I have it back? That was really fucking mean.
Oh, man. Have you had any Elizabeth updates? Especially now that Philip is dead.
I mean, I always hear stuff.
Yeah.
And at this point, I just kind of like acknowledge it. I'm like, oh, okay.
There she goes.
And then I'm like, whatever again.
Do you ever say goodnight to her?
No.
Elizabeth, by the way, for those of you who have not
Yeah.
been following. Yeah. I just realized as I was saying that whole
Elizabeth
sentence.
is the ghost that lives in my house.
Yeah.
That we've named her Elizabeth. Well, I named her Elizabeth. And if you want to hear more on that story, go to the Halloween episode
the
and
origin.
pretty much every episode
Yeah.
after that.
It's like the Halloween episode was like the origin story of Elizabeth, and then throughout, like, up until
Now.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, with some episodes in between.
Yeah.
There's always been a ghost update.
Yeah. And so actually, my aunt is really into like spirits and stuff. And so she recommended 2 books to me. One's called The Light Between Us, and the other one is called Signs by Laura Lee Jackson, I think.
Signs sound very, 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 very familiar.
We read one for uni, but it's not the same book. It was called Signs,
Can
though.
you imagine if that's what I'm confusing it with?
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine?
But they were basically books about spirits and ghosts and how they send messages if/when people pass. And since I started reading that, I've been having more and more dreams about dead relatives, and it's freaking me out. Because a lot of them I haven't even met in person. They're just there, and they're like, hey, bitch. I'm like, ugh.
And do you know what they look like?
Yeah, from pictures.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And like, so basically...
What if you're getting premonitions?
Maybe.
Elizabeth?
They're like, hey, bitch, send me an email when you get this. That's the subject line. No. But so my great-grandma, for example, she died like a couple months before I was born. So everyone else in my family knows her except for me. And they all remember her and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know who this woman is, but she sounds amazing. So they gave me her middle name.
Okay.
And so I dreamt about her
May.
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 And I dreamt about her the other night, and I was like, Doris, babe, you gotta pass over, my girl.
You can't be haunting my dreams, dog. That's weird. This is too personal. I don't know you, really.
Like, I literally have not met you.
It's like, this is very uncomfortable, Doris.
Like,
Okay,
you
get out of
seem
here.
great, Doris, but I'm gonna need you to take a back seat on this
You're
one.
gonna have to vibe out of here, my dog.
Literally.
Yeah.
But like, my grandparents show up in my dreams all the time,
Really?
and they just vibe with me. Yeah.
Interesting. And you're just like chilling, going on the adventure.
They honestly never talk to me. We just sit and vibe.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Oh, man. Isn't sleep so great?
I love sleeping. Last night I slept 12 hours.
Nice. I
It
think
was
I've got
glorious.
I've been telling people this, and I'm pretty sure I've got a sleep addiction.
Me too.
It's like, the thing is, like, I'm sleeping, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh, dog, I want to stay sleeping, dog.
Yeah. But I also have naps. Like, I honestly probably spend more time asleep than awake.
Really?
Genuinely, I think I do.
Well, I mean, if you slept 12 hours last night,
Slept 12 hours last
when
night.
did you wake up?
Well, so I went to sleep at like 2 a.m., woke up at 2 p.m. But the day before that, I had like a 4-hour nap. And then I was awake for 2 hours. I'm going back in the day, by the way. So now this is now morning. I woke up at 11, was awake for like 20 minutes, and went back to sleep. So basically yesterday, I had about 18 or 19 hours sleeping.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah,
though.
and I still slept 12 hours last night.
But like, do you also have this where if you're sleeping too long, you start to feel unwell?
No.
No? Dude,
I start to feel better the more I sleep. Like this, I think that's...
Are you a vampire or something? Like, what the fuck? Like
I
nesting
think-
in the coffin? Like, what the fuck?
But I think that's why, like, when I came here, I said to Peter, I was like, I'm in such a good mood today. And I think the more I sleep, the happier I am.
Is that like a superpower or something?
I think it's the opposite of what's normal.
Yeah. Because, like, for me, it's like after I've slept from anything above 10 hours.
Oh, I feel
Up to 10 hours.
great.
Up to 10 hours is great. But anything really far past that, I start feeling like more, I start to feel like ill almost. Like I'm in bed for way too long and I just don't feel good.
See, I get the opposite where like less than 10 hours and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired, but you know, I have to get up. This is fucking life, you know. I have to get up and seize the day. And I'm still going to be a bit tired a bit throughout the day. But when I get past 10 hours, I'm like, oh, I'm in such a good mood. Like I just feel great. And I'm the worst person without sleep. I'm so angry without sleep.
You're like done with the world.
I'm just such an angry person. Like I get triggered, and I'm not an angry person, as you know.
No.
I don't like get angry, but I fucking lose my shit. One time when I got back from California to here, and I had crazy jet lag, I was at my boyfriend at the time's house, and I think he went out with some people, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here and go to sleep. Like I don't want to go out anymore. And then I usually I have like my toothbrush, like face wash there, as you do when you're seeing someone.
Was this when you lost your suitcase?
No, this was after that.
Oh, okay.
But so I was in his house, and I went, and I was like, okay, great, I have my toothbrush. He's out of toothpaste. I'm like, oh my fucking god, that's already annoying, because now I have to go to sleep with like grimy teeth.
Yeah.
Not
like
nice.
You can brush, but it's not.
It's not the same.
No.
So then I was like, okay, well, at least I can wash this makeup off my face. No fucking face wash. I'm like, I'm about to lose my shit. And I was so angry, and I was like trying to wash it off with my hands, and the water was just like boiling hot, and there was no cold. And I was like, what fucking house am I in right now? And I was so jet lagged. I hadn't slept for probably 32 hours at this point. So I was like over the edge. So this is, by the way, the craziest I've ever been, and I'm still terrified of myself then. So I was like, oh my fucking god. So I like threw my shit on the floor, just my shit at this point. I was like, I can
Just
take it out on myself. And then I was like, okay, I need to put my hair up, because I had really long hair at the time. I mean, I've cut it recently, but it was like quite long at the time. Didn't have a fucking hair tie, so naturally I'm like, nothing's going right. Oh my fucking god. I like try pull the blinds down. They're like yours, how they don't close the first time.
Oh, dude.
And I was shit.
It's like the layers of like irritants are just growing, dude.
So angry. And then so he had his wardrobe where he'd hung like a little plastic basketball hoop on it. I slammed it shut. It broke. And then I went to the bed. I took the duvet covers, threw it on the floor, threw all the pillows on the floor, threw bags everywhere, knocked the chair over. I was just so angry because nothing was going my way and nothing would make me comfortable. So much so that I like just I must have exhausted myself from like throwing shit, because then I just passed out on the bed like horizontally, not even right way up. So then I like fall asleep, all my clothes on, like I'm still like human at this point. And then like my boyfriend gets home, and he's like, I'm too fucking drunk to deal with this. I'm just gonna lie down next to her.
Fair enough. Fair enough, to be honest. Like,
then,
I'm not feeling
a couple hours later, I woke up, forgot what I'd done, because I just like passed out like this.
Yeah.
So I woke up and I was like, why the fuck are we sleeping horizontal? Move. I like told him to move. And then I got in bed, went to sleep. A few hours later, we wake up, it's like daytime, and I was like, good morning. Like after sleeping. And then
that's crazy. That's
and
so
then,
weird.
And then he was like, yeah, you clean my room because like you trashed it. And I was like, yeah, fair enough.
To be fair, they're cleaning the room.
He's also like, you also broke my basketball hoop. I was like, yeah, sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. I was just like really fucking tired and nothing was going on right. And I was like, you don't have face wash? You don't have toothpaste? Guess what was in a shopping bag underneath the table? Face wash and toothpaste. And so he was like, yeah, so you trashed my house for no reason.
I like how you didn't ask him. Like you didn't bother to text him and just be like,
well, he was out. Like, okay, you know, he's out with his friends.
You just text him.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, he's a guy. Usually if he's out, he's like, oh, just wait a few days. I'll just wait a couple days, you know? So I was like, I can't even be fucking bothered. And then I was just like, I just need to go to fucking sleep. I was just like, honestly, like, it's the angriest
like
I've ever been.
Dude, I can imagine, dude.
It was insane. And now, like, whenever I'm jet lagged, I'm the worst person to be around. I'm so snappy.
Oh, it's so funny, though. I mean, like, I can just imagine. I know what you mean, though. It's like, oh, this is fucked now. Oh, this happened. Oh, well. Yeah. And like
it's just one thing after another.
The funny thing is that it's usually the small things, right? It's like tiny stuff, like, you know, no toothpaste or whatever, or like
Like,
you know, no face wash. It's these small little things, you know, whatever.
You know what it was? The turning point was the fucking blinds. I was like, they're fucking blinds. They're supposed to work, and they don't even fucking work.
I know what you mean, dude. I've gotten real pissed off at these vibes.
Like,
at these
I literally
blinds.
just left them in the end. I was like, fuck them. Like, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I don't need you.
I don't need blinds. I am blind.
I am blind. I'll just close my damn eyes.
Oh.
Yeah. But,
Who needs blinds? Yeah,
I have
funny.
a theory, though, that everyone is, like, moody either when they're hungry or when they're tired. Mine's when I'm tired.
Mine's when I'm hungry. Like, or when I have a headache. If I have a headache, I get really irritable. Like, really fast, yeah. Because, like, I remember one time I got really angry at a friend of mine who was staying with me. Yeah, and it was mostly just because I had this big ass headache, and like I was just so done. I was so angry. Oh,
I'm fine when I have a headache.
if I have like a stomach ache or I'm like nauseous, but I'm not angry. I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm sick. You know what
I
I mean?
literally don't want to speak to anyone when I'm nauseous.
Really? I don't want to talk to anyone.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not mean. I'm just like sick.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not like. But when I have a headache, I'm like very irritable. I'm like, oh dude, this is so fucking annoying. Because the headache's already annoying, and it makes everything you do annoying, right? Because a headache.
Yeah, it just makes everything way too loud, way too annoying, way too bright.
It's always the worst when you take like a paracetamol and it doesn't work at first. You're like, oh, come on, dude.
You have to wait a whole 20 minutes for it to metabolize. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Man, we've been bouncing around a lot this episode.
Yeah.
Wow, holy
but
cow.
I think it was pretty interesting.
I think it was interesting. I think it's a good mix. We've got Prince Philip in there. We've got headaches.
Narcolepsy, media
Yeah.
studies.
You getting angry. Yeah, it was a pretty good episode, I think. A lot of interesting stuff. And I think that's a good place to call it as well, though.
I agree. Actually, no.
Actually, never mind. Let's keep going. Well, thank you for joining us on This Could Be a Podcast. It was a bit of a wild one. I think last week was a bit more on topic, I suppose. And this is, I don't know, we just both kind of feel like talking more than anything else.
Venting, getting it
Yeah,
out.
a little bit of a banter. If you liked what you heard, you can find us on Spotify at This Could Be a Podcast and on Instagram at This Could Be a Podcast and also on YouTube. Not / This Could Be a Podcast, but This Could Be a Podcast. You'll find us.
You'll find us. It's the same picture as the cover art on everything.
We're pretty much everywhere. We're pretty big. Well, thanks.
We're pretty big. Whatever.
Pretty big. I'm just saying. Whatever. Okay.
We're celebrity. Whatever. That's what we do.
Well, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
You're late.